Hello, peace and blessings, beautiful people. My name is Honest Am. I am here for another month intuitive read. I just wanted to kind of come to you guys to just say, first, I hope that this message really do find you in great spirits. I know that there's a lot going on, but I just ask that you just focus on the positive as much as possible. Please, please, please don't spend a lot of time just binging the news. Like, take some breaks, listen to, watch some rom-coms, read a nice romance novel. Like, just give your mind a break from all of the things that may just be going on. My intention for this offering this month is just that it gives you some peace, that it gives you affirmation, confirmation, and just a little bit of motivation to get through these hard times. I'm not gonna say too much more. We're gonna just go ahead and get right into it. As usual, I want you guys to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And begin. One more time for the gods. And one more time for the ancestors. Dear God, ancestors, beings of light, angels, I come to you today to just say thank you for waking us up and just allowing us to be able to have this offering, this technology, to be able to exchange energies in this way. I ask that you think about everyone who may come across this video, and I ask that you please deliver a message. Excuse me, God. I ask that you think about whoever may be viewing this video. And if there's anything that you want to say to them, God, please use me as a clear and open channel. If any of their guides or ancestors, all beings of light, you are welcome here. I just ask that this reading be beneficial to all, for everyone, highest and greatest good. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Ashe. All right. Kind of tripped up there a little bit. But I do feel calm. I feel calm. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. God, what messages do you have for us this month? What message do you have for us this month, God? What message do you have for us this month? What message do you have for us this month? Oh, really quick rules. I use God and cusses in the same sentence. I do not just use the tarot. And it's an intuitive read, so I read it how I read it. All right, let's get into it. Spirit, what messages do you have for us this month? What messages do you have for us this month? What messages do you have for us this month? What messages do you have for us this month? Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Thank you, Spirit. So all our cards popped out. I don't know if y'all was seeing that, but these cards was popping like popcorn right now. So this card that stayed up here that I'm going to say is our overall reading is, I'm going to say is our kind of our overall theme for this reading is freedom. Right under freedom, we have balance. So how do we have freedom and balance? Power is another one. Power, and I'm missing one more. One more popped out. Hold on, guys. I gotta go find it. Found it. Actually, one more, and harmony. Well, harmony. Okay. It was 4. It was 4, but I'm going to go ahead and pull one more. So the 4 cards that flew out for us, we're going to look up angel number 444. The 4 cards that flew out for us was freedom, balance, power, and harmony. So how do we balance how do we balance freedom with power? How do we balance power with harmony? And I want to just know, God, what energy is supporting us this month? What energy is supporting us this month? Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us birth. So this is so beautiful. So the energy that is supporting us this month is birth. That is the underlying theme of all of this. The underlying theme of freedom is birth. So when I hear that, the first thing that I think is that we are coming into this new age. I mean, I've been saying it since this is like my third video. I literally been saying it every video. But I feel like Spirit is really trying to hone in this message that we are coming into this new age of where we are, when we have better access to our freedom, where we need to probably come into more balance with our emotions, come in more balance with our angel and light side, come into more balance with being okay with kind of just holding our light, especially during times like this. So when I say that to say that as people are growing more afraid, as people are kind of getting swept up in the pandemonium of things that are going on right now, as a being of light, I truly feel like if you come to this video, if you find yourself watching this, I do feel like maybe you're a being of light, or you're a seeker of some form. There's something about you that wants to know more. So for me, that means that you're on my side and you're a being of light. So as we are coming into this time, it's going to be even more important for us to kind of stand in our power, and really hold that space of light, and not really get wrapped up and swayed in everything that's kind of going on. Because what's going to happen is, come on, God, you're making it so easy. What's going to happen is that by us being able to maintain our balance, by us being able to maintain our faith, and showing people the way during these rocky times, what's going to happen is that more people are going to be activated. Our light is going to spread to one another, and it's going to start bringing us into harmony. We all know, I remember when I was in school, my dad used to tell me all the time, the last 10 miles of the top of the journey, it's always the hardest. There's always a lot of chaos before things start to kind of calm on down. So we're kind of just going through this process, and it's, Earth and God and Gaia and all of that stuff is kind of going through this process of purging. She's going through this process of evolution, because if you know it or not, she is a living, breathing being as well. This earth that we live on, think about her. We are all connected. So think about her just as though yourself. If you had people that were constantly dumping on you, people not respecting you, people no longer wanting to take care of you, think about how that will make you feel after a while. It will make you feel like, fuck them. It'll make you feel like, if you ain't trying to help me, if you ain't trying to be here, then you gotta go. So we got to really think about it in those terms, and not get so wrapped up into the fear of it, and just realize that this is just a process. This is just this is a natural evolution of what is going on, and it's very important that we just stand in our power and really shine bright during this time. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to get some more cards out here. Big Mama is smoking today, y'all. I'm gonna have to reach out to them people and figure out, like, why does that one smoke so much? Like, I literally bought all of these smudge sticks at the same time. I probably used that one. I don't know, I feel like I use this one the most. And look at this one. This one is perfectly fine. And that one is like almost gone. And my grandfather, I don't use it as much, but still, like, it just doesn't burn. Something about that, but I love it. Like, I love using it during these reads, so I'm just gonna have to go get some more. It just is what it is. God, what messages do you have for us this month? What messages do you have for us about freedom, balance, power, and harmony, and birth? Also, guys, if you're a journaler, please think about what these words mean for you at this time. How are you seeking more freedom in your life? What are you trying to bring into balance? Where do you need to stand into your power more? Where in your life may you be giving away power? How can you bring more harmony amongst yourself and others? And what are you trying to bring to birth into this world? If what you're trying to bring into this earth, into this world, is it going to bring you into alignment with your freedom and your power and your balance, or is it going to take you further away from it? That's going to be very important during this time. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. I would like 4. Ooh, I said 4. How many? Oh, thank you. All right. So overall, our overall theme of this reading is freedom, and it is I can have money and freedom too. I'm going to read this card for us, but for right now, I'm going to just leave this right here. I'm going to put this under Egypt. Under balance, we have in my appreciation, I allow myself to receive good things. So for those of us that are not used to receiving great things, for those of us who are not used to kind of having this sense of freedom, or even if we find ourselves in some foreign territory, or just, I don't know, we just find ourselves just really receiving some abundance and it may make us nervous, just know that if you've been doing the work, if you've been true to yourself, if you've been kind to others, like if you've been putting out good energy, then allow yourself to also receive the rewards of that. So allow yourself to receive good things. And when you start to receive good things, don't feel like, oh my God, like something's gonna go bad, or oh my, when the other shoe's gonna drop. No, just be like, yes, like my time is finally coming. How much better can this get? That's why I really want you to kind of have that attitude. But also, when you are receiving these good things, have some balance. For those of us that are we do a lot of self-care. We do a lot of things. We do a lot of treating ourselves in the name of self-care. And with the recession probably knocking at our door right now, I think that what Spirit is also saying is just be a little bit more wise about your ways that you are going about freedom. Try to find some more activities that are a little more free, or just try to figure out like different ways, maybe cheaper ways that you can go about giving yourself that self-care. Just be very wise about your spending during this time. Under power, we have the law of attraction adds power to both problems and solutions. The law of attraction adds power to both problems and solutions. So this card is saying is think about the power of your thoughts. Really is the easiest way to think about that, especially during this time where there is just a lot of like kind of fear-based thinking right now. We're all a lot of people scared, and rightfully so. So just be very mindful of how you're letting that fear kind of affect you. Just know that the more you focus on the fear, the more you're focused on the things that can go wrong. It's still the law of attraction, the more that you're going to bring that into your life. So that's why it's just really, really, really important this month to keep your thoughts positive and as pure as possible. I cannot stress that enough. That is going to be very, very key into kind of how all of this is going to play out. I was watching this video on YouTube. I think it was Water Baby Tarot. And also Divinely Feminine been talking about this a lot. And it is just about knowing that it is a choice to choose love or fear. Like you really have that choice. And at this time, you really, really, really got to lean into love, and have that faith, and have that trust in the universe that everything is going to work out in the end. It's already written. So just walk in that. If you have work to do, walk in that. Stand in your power and know that you're going to be protected. No, remember guys, we are spiritual beings having this physical experience. All right. Under harmony, we have I am becoming more aware about my feelings with money. So I really, really love this under freedom, because I feel like, and I know for me for a fact, and if I know a couple of my people and honestly sis family, participated in the abundance challenge, and I know that really got me very sensitive about how I think about money, how I even how I go about spending. Sometimes I get very like, I went to, as you guys can see, I went to go purchase some new things, and it was so funny. Look, funny. I have to tell everybody this story because I'm just like, I hit a lick. So I originally went to go purchase this, if you guys look these chairs up online, these chairs are almost like, they're quoted for like $500, $350, all these crazy amounts. It's just ridiculous. Even the Urban Outfitter cheap version is almost $300. So I knew a friend, I have a coworker who was just really into like vintage, retro, like she does events and, weddings and all that. I can't even describe it. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I get. So she did it, and just something, Spirit just told me to just, go ask her if she may know somebody. Of course, she did know somebody. She sent me to the perfect place that had clearly everything that I needed, minus the lamp. Minus literally, only thing that's missing is the lamp, the light that I need. So I saw on the lady page that she had this chair. It was this white chair for $150. I really wasn't in love with the chair. But I'm like, yeah, I really want this, I really want this type of chair. So I was like, I was like, is there a way I can put a deposit down? I want to kind of go look at it. And she's like, yeah, come pay for it. If you're not really feeling it, then I'll just give your money back. Oh, that just reminded me, I need to reach out to her because she still owed me $20. Anyway, so that's why I'm getting to the story. So then I go, so she's like, but I got this other chair, if you're not really feeling that one. So I was like, okay. So I go there and she shows me the white chair, and I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling that. So I'm like, where the other chair you were showing me? So she showed me this chair, and I'm like, ooh, I really like this chair. And you guys can't see it, but there's like this little chair. It's like a, the chair, and the arm piece is kind of like messed up a little bit. So she's like, oh yeah, I just, I don't have time to fix it, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I just want somebody to take that chair. You can have it. I'm giving that chair away for $50. $50, y'all. $50. So long story short, the thing that was, I say all of that to say, like, I was very hesitant about putting the deposit down, because it really was like I was paying for this $150. It was $150. Now I was putting down, I'm like, damn, like I don't really love this chair. Is this stupid? Is this, all of these thoughts that were going through my mind. But then I just had to remind myself that like I had this vision, I just had this vision, and I just knew that this, I just felt like she would have what I needed. So I just did it. And I was just like, before I went, I sent a prayer up to my angels, like, please just kind of help me on this process, allow me to get the things that I need to get, and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, here I am. So if you are struggling with money issues, I'm for real this time. This month, I am starting a abundance challenge. March, I'm going to start it. Matter of fact, on my birthday, March 27th is when we're going to kick off day 0. So I'm giving you guys some time. If you are interested in that, all of my contact information is in the description box below. If you find yourself like getting anxious when you are spending money, or if you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much money you get, like you can get a raise and then still your 2 paychecks and your raise, you still not seeing the difference. Like really, really do this challenge, because this challenge really opened my eyes up to the way that I look at money, and the way, my family looked at money. Like it's just a really good challenge. And that the chair is just one example of how this challenge has helped me. In the middle of the challenge, I got a bill for a negative $40.40. Like, how does that happen? I'm definitely not the type that's overpaying on any bill if I ain't got to. So I'm just saying, like, if this is, I'm not really one of those people that pushes challenges, but I just really, really believe in this challenge, and I really felt the power in the challenge. So if that is something that you want to do, if you want to get into harmony with your money and to the flow with abundance, then definitely hop on the abundance challenge. But that's what that's all about. Like, God wants us to become more aware about our feelings with money, more aware about like the energy we put into money, how we look at it. Do we look at it as something as it just a means to an end? Or do we look at it as I'm never going to have enough? Like, all of that affects the flow of the money and the flow of money to us. When we become more aware of that, that's when we have more freedom and we become more open, and the universe can play with us and give us opportunities like this. Y'all, Big Mama smoking again. I'm gonna have to put her out. Hold on. I'm sorry. She's so good though, because I know she got me flowing. I know this stuff is powerful because I can feel it. But she smokes too much. I don't get it. Literally, she like my grandma for real. She just smoked too much. I love you, Granny. My granny was a big time smoker. And I remember one time, like when I was in the 3rd grade, you know how we used to do them like them projects, and I bought the thing home like, Grandma, this is what smoking does. And she's like, well, baby, I've been smoking since I was 13 years old. So she like, so it is what it is. All right, I think it's going out, y'all. I'm sorry. Story time with Ham. Story time with Ham. And I was like, I'm gonna make these shorter. I knew I should have took this out before I started because I knew it was gonna be some shit. Look at this, y'all. She burning good. All right. Hold on, guys. Have a little sage there, but 1 second. All right, y'all. Big Mama is out. Here she goes. Look at her. Now but she's still fighting. She is strong, y'all. Oh, that is, oh, all of my angel, I'm gonna have to clean that up. All my angel cards just fell out. But yeah, she's still smoking. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to. She was, my eyes burning. She be burning out. Remember, it was one of them videos. I'm like, I don't know why my eyes burning. That's sage. Okay, so it's gonna clear up in here. So the window is open. Okay. Back into it. So overall, still supporting this theme of birth is I can have money and freedom too. This is the card that I'm gonna read. A feeling of being overwhelmed is your indicator that you are denying yourself access to all manner of cooperation that could assist you if you were not just allowing it. I'm gonna read that one more time. A feeling of being overwhelmed is your indicator that you are denying yourself access to all manner of cooperation that could assist you if you were not disallowing it. As you begin to feel freer regarding the expenditures of time and money, doors will open, people will come to assist you, refreshing and productive ideas will occur to you, and circumstances and events will unfold. As you change the way you feel, you will access the energy that creates world. It is there for you. Ready at access at all times. So that is how we get freedom, y'all. That's how. Y'all, I'm having a I'm over here dropping. I'm having a moment. All right, y'all. Hold on. Let me get my eyes together. What y'all up to? I should start doing some lives because my eyes is burning. And my throat. Okay. So how we get, and that's what God is trying to tell us, that the way that we get to self-mastery, the way that we get to self-mastery is going to take us to freedom. And the way that we get there is that we have to kind of come into awareness of, we have to get aware of our emotions and control of our mind. Once we get aware of our emotions and control of our mind, that is really where it's going to activate our power. That is really when we're going to be able to use the law of attraction to our advantage. That's when we're going to be able to kind of drop a question up in the universe and then watch the universe responds to it. That is how that's how we allow ourselves to receive things from the universe. When you expect things from the universe, when you expect the universe to answer you, things are going to come. And then when things come, you allow them to come. You don't get scared and be like, oh my God, this is scary. What the fuck is going on? Because then the universe will be like, oh, she don't like that. She not into that. Your spirit's going to be like, oh, she not ready. She not trying to go on that level yet. But if you approach it, and if you have this open mind about it, and if you kind of just, get, just let them know like, hey, I believe in y'all. I may not know you by name. I may not be able to, see your face and touch you, but I believe in you. And I know that you are working on my behalf. And so I'm going to ask you to do da, 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 da. That is how it works. That's how we get to the freedom. Like, that's how we get to the freedom. And that's also how we get to the money for those creatives. Like, you got to just, it was this thing, I actually posted it on my Instagram page. Follow me on IG. Look at me giving all my shout outs. Follow me on IG at honestly am. At honestly am. But Rick Ross said, like, if you want to bring something in the world, if you want to be a boss, like, you gotta feel that before it even happened. Like, it doesn't happen. You don't get there. But some people it do. But for most people, you don't get there without already feeling it in your bones. Like, you gotta feel that shit first. You gotta, and the feeling it's not gonna always be there. It's not gonna stay. It's not gonna be a lingering feeling. You may get that feeling one time for an hour, or you may get that feeling for a week, and you may be, zapped and juiced about it. But you have to remember that moment of when you had that initial feeling, and you got to ride it. Like, when you in spirit come up with a plan, when you in spirit say, okay, you got to do X, Y, and Z to get you here. So say, for example, for me, Spirit told me, I went down when I was in public accounting, and I was, hating my job, crying in the car every day. When I got down on my knees on that on-call, in that dark ass on-call room, I asked God to show me a way out, and I would follow it. God gave me the manuscript I gave me the outline for my book. And hence now I have like this 3-book series that I can write. Every single time I find myself like, God's not working for me, or God's not giving me, he's not coming through for me, no opportunities, I'm working so hard and nothing is manifesting. I always go back to the fact that either I'm not working on my path, or I have not seen this book to fruition, so I cannot doubt him yet. Like, that's my anchor. My anchor that's my end goal. My end goal is I do all of this work. I do this book. I release this book. And if it doesn't happen, then I can be like, damn, I can't trust this shit. Like, damn, I can't trust this shit. God failed me. But until then, which I know that's not going to happen, because I've already seen the proof of what just been happening in the writing of the book. Like, my whole life have completely changed just in the writing of my book. So it's like, no matter what happened, no matter what twists and turns my life may take, until that book is published, until I have this book in my hand, the physical copy of the book, I can't doubt God, because that is the plan. That's the agreement that we made. So you have to find something to anchor yourself into your power to say, hey, I'm not giving up until the X, Y, until this happens. If this happened, I give my best to it. I give my all to it. Nothing comes from it. Then I give up. But so often we pray for stuff. We do the work to get the skill, but we don't produce anything. Like, there's no tangible things. There's no business plan. There's no website built. There's just you working, So it's like, give God, like, talk to God. You guys figure out, what is your tangible thing? What is the thing that you are going to birth into the earth, and then go do it. Until then, don't doubt him. So often what happens is that we say we want to become a fashion designer, or we want to become a model, or we want to become let's just say we want to become a rapper. And we do all these things to get the skills up, or we learn how to, you know, produce beats, and we do all these things, and then we say we've been working hard and God hasn't given us anything because, you know, you don't see anything from it. But my thing is, what have you offered to the universe? What was your offering to it? If you've just been working and no offering, then you can't say that he doesn't, you know, like, you have to go back and you have to go find something. Like, what is your offering? Find your offering, because all of that is that's going to balance you. That's going to, first of all, it's going to give you a clear point. It's going to give you something to focus on. Once you figure out, I love this, this is what I want to do, you have your goal, and then you focus on that goal. You feel like it's going to happen no matter what. It's going to happen. I'm not going to run out of time because God has this happening. I'm not going to die from some random disease because God has me doing this. Like, that is going to be your focal point at all times. And when that happens, that's how you start getting your power. That's how things start freeing up. Your money start freeing up. You start coming into harmony. And that's when you find that, you know, that's when eventually you break through to you break through it. That's when the creation manifests. Like, that's when it all happens, when all of those things fall into order. But until you have your offering, until you figure out what's your center and what's going to balance you, what's going to root you, then you're just going to be everywhere until you make a decision that, hey, I'm going to flow with the universe. I'm going to trust the universe. No matter what happens, no matter what goes my way, I'm going to believe in the universe. I'm going to allow myself to receive good things. Until you make that decision that you're going to work with it, you can't be mad if nothing comes from it. That's it. Or if you are in the position of where you're used to asking for stuff, and then you get scared when stuff start happening, then you push it away because you're telling the universe you're not ready for it. You have to make a commitment. You have to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is the path I'm taking. But I have been talking way too long. Underneath this, in order to bring things, as I was saying before, in order to birth things into the world, it says, I have control over my thoughts. I have control over the thoughts I think. The power starts in your mind, and then life and death is in the tongue. If you say, I ain't gonna never have it, angel number 3222, if that's what you're in, 3223, I think that's what it was, or 32. Yeah, 3232, and then 3223. Anyways, but yeah, if you think I'm never gonna have this, it's not gonna be for me, then it's not gonna be for you. Like, make the decision. Like, you just gotta decide what you're gonna do. You got to make a decision. I've been talking for 32 minutes, y'all. Lord. God, what messages do you have for us this month? What messages do you have for us this month? What messages do you have for us this month? Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. All right. Perfect. Yes, that's freedom. Freedom is the sun. Overall theme of this is the sun. How do we get to the sun? How do we get to ultimate freedom and acceptance and openness, radiance? How do we get there? We get there by, this is so funny. We get there by standing in our power, which will be the emperor. But with balance, some of you guys, again, it's about that balance of the fear. If it's a fear, if you're standing in your power and you're like, if you're loud and wrong standing in your power, then that's not helpful for you. That's not going to get you to the sun. That's not going to get you any closer. So you have to take more of a gentler approach. Like, you have to soften things up, loose, you know, get your foot off of people's necks just a little bit. Like, that's how you're going to get it. Like, that's how you're going to allow things to come to you, by adjusting your attitude, balancing your emotions. Like, I can't say that enough. Like, a lot of this is about balancing your emotions and really getting rooted and grounded down. Like, yeah, like just really grounding down. Like, I think that's what this month is all about. Like, figuring out what do we want to do, knowing that we can have money and freedom, knowing that time is just a matter of perspective. We're never running out of time. Once we decide all of that, then that's how we get to the ultimate freedom. That's how we get to our end goal. Under power, we have the Four of Pentacles. So, and again, the law of attraction both adds to my problem and solutions. So this is dealing with money. If you want financial freedom, for one, like, you can't be thinking that, you can't think lack. You can't think like, I'm never going to get it. My whole family have always been, you know, had financial struggles, so I'm not going to shoot for the moon. You can't have that type of attitude. You also can't hoard money. You also can't be like, I'm not going to spend a dime because I don't want to have money, because what that does is that blocks up the flow. It's just like an artery. If you were to just, it's just like blood pressure. So when you go to the doctor and they put that thing, I don't know, they probably don't do it no more, but remember they used to put the thing around your arm and pump, and it get all tight. If you do that with your money, nothing can come in. You got to be free with your money. And that's how I ultimately made that decision, because the old me would have been like, oh, I can't, you know, I really need to be saving my money. Like, I'm just going to buy it next week. I'm not going to get it because I paid this, and I want to have a certain dollar amount in my bank account. But that's not me trusting the trusting universe. That's not me having freedom. Like, the balance, the way that I balance that is by standing in my power and knowing that, hey, this is something that I'm serious about. I really want to get my setup together. So I'm going to stand in my power, and I'm going to change the way that I would normally think about things. I'm going to go about this just a little bit differently. I'm going to have some trust. I'm going to allow my expenditures and my freedom to, allow my money to freely flow, so that I can ultimately be the Queen of Wands. What the Queen of Wands is, this is a bad bitch. This is a woman who is not only she's just the creator of her own life. She knows she's the manifester, like the queen manifester. Like, she just knows she got it. Like, she knows she bad. She knows that whatever she put her mind to it, she can see it through, because she just did it. Like, and again, if I keep going with my example with my chair, that's ultimately how I ended up, because I'm like, hey, you know what? I've done before. I would normally stand my ground and be like, I can't use my money. I can't do this. I got to save. But you know what? Going about things a little bit differently, not being so bull-handed, being more freer with my money, not being stingy, allowing this to kind of just happen, and trusting the universe, and knowing that things will ultimately work out for my greater good. I became the Queen of Wands. Now I feel like the sun. Like, I feel like I'm unstoppable, because I just saw the cycle of how the universe can work in my favor. But for some of you guys, that's not happening. That's you guys are so stuck in your ways. You're so stuck into not feeling like the universe is on your side. You're not trusting of the universe, so you focus more on your problems and how things are not working in your favor, and so then you're not in your power. You're not living in your full potential. You're not creating the things that you want. You keep creating you're creating things, but you finding out that there is something always lacking in your creations, and they're lacking in your creations because you're not truly in your power. You're not truly in your power. You're allowing fear to lead you. But if you just change that and allow love to lead you, then you become the sun. Then you have that ultimate freedom. Then money and your freedom all comes. Then life flows into harmony for you. Then you can easily birth and manifest everything. That's what this message is all about. This message is about getting our mind together, making up our mind, really deciding how do we want to live. God like literally just gave us the cycle. He showed us how it works. You decide what's your thing. What are you, angel number 40? What's your path? How are you going to go about things? How are you going to how are you going to govern yourself? What are you bringing into form? What are you willing to go 10 toes down for? Once you decide that you're going to go 10 toes down for something, then you have to have total trust. Then you give your resources freely to it. If you have a job, you work, you use the funds that you have for your job and you put it towards your dream. And when there comes times where it comes to, put some money into your business or have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or, put money into your businesses or have bomb ass meals all week, put money into your businesses and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches so that you can ultimately end up as the Queen of Wands in the end, so that you can be in ultimate harmony. Because now you know the cycle of creation. You know how to bring to life things to life. You know how to become the sun. You're no longer having to be this is the same person, but guess what? This is the person on the other end of the cycle. The same red cape is on him, but at this point, his inner child is leading him. He knows that if he keeps his heart pure and his mind focused on good things, then he's always going to be taken care of. Things are going to work in his favor. At the bottom of the card is Ace of Cups. So again, if you take this opportunity, I don't know why I always say and again. I don't know where that came from. I've been watching my videos. I'm like, why do you keep saying that? I don't know. I got to stop saying that. But anyways, with the Ace of Cups under this, with birth, this is just said it again. But this is really like God just saying like, come through this cycle with me. Like, be willing to kind of change your stance on how you approach things just for a minute. My thing is, you don't have to make this big commitment of, oh, for the rest of my life, I'm gonna follow these mystical ways. I'm gonna do things this mystical way. Oh, look at this. It's actually your tuition, the ace, the high priestess reverse. So maybe again, like maybe some the fear-based illusions, like the fear is getting to you. It's clouding your intuition because upright, this is a woman. This is the same kind of she kind of looked the same a little bit. She changed her clothes, but this is a woman who is very grounded with the light and the dark of her. She's connected to her intuition. This is all about the subconscious, but I feel like the fear and all of that is kind of like getting in the way of you having your high priestess. So really getting your emotions into check. And I think that's what God is saying, is that if you are willing to try to just trust me, do it for a month, do it for 2 months. Like, you can do it on a trial basis. And if it don't work for you, then go back to your old ways. But just give God 2 months of living life, of trusting him and doing things just a little bit differently, of allowing love to lead you instead of fear, and watch how this literally the cup will run over. Like, just watch how things work in your favor. But you have to be willing to do things from love and not from a place of fear. Don't be a dick. Don't be throwing your shit all around. Don't do it from love. Do it from a place of love. All right. The final message. I feel like I just said a lot of stuff in this message. Just a lot. So it's going to be very interesting. All right, God. What's the final message that you have for us this month, God? What is the final message that you have for the collective? What is the final message that you have for the collective? Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. Allow us to see the cards that we need to see. All right. Came right out. So underneath this, thank you. Thank you, God. Doubling down on what I was saying. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. I low-key want to read this because I think it's very important that I'm going to read this because it's just important that we don't get caught up in this dark in this fear that's happening right now and getting swept up. And the other card that came out is what is already with you. Oh, come on, God. All right, let's read these two cards. I'm going to read the first card as what is already with you. Why I open right up to it, y'all? God wants this to be said. You hold in your hands that which you seek. I love it. You hold in your hands that which you seek. In other words, the pair of spectacles you have been rummaging around the house for are sitting on top of your head. What you are seeking, perhaps by exploring far and wide, is actually right under your nose. You may not like this idea. It is so much more wonderful to imagine that it's something yet to find. Of course, there is unlimited creative potential and always something more that can be. Yet in this instance, it is important for you to know that you already have what you need and what you want. That doesn't mean that it's the end of the story, although it does ask you to give up the fantasy that a perfect solution lies in the future somewhere. Instead, it asks you to acknowledge that everything necessary for success is with you now. All you need to do is accept this and act like, excuse me, let me get a little comfortable. All right, where we at? Yet in this instant, it is important for you to want, That does not mean it is the end of the story, although it does ask you to give up the fantasy that a perfect solution lies in the future somewhere. Instead, it asks you to acknowledge that everything necessary for success is with you now. All you need to do is accept this and act. I'm going to say that one more time. All you need to do is accept this and act with what you have available to you. This is good news. This particular chapter has a happy ending in store. That ending will become real for you just as soon as you stop trying to skip forward to the next chapter. I love that. That ending will become real for you just as you stop trying to skip forward to the next chapter. Better to be completely present in the now. From now, the next phase will naturally happen without force on your part. It might not seem like you have much to start with. Perhaps you feel that all you have is small, simple choice to make. Perhaps you have a song to begin, an email to send, a conversation to start, or a sketch to let loose. However small, it is enough to get the ball rolling. Don't make the mistake of believing that what you need is behind you, lies with another, or is yet to appear. You have all that you need to take the next step in your life, and from that, all else will flow. And there is a sweetness to that. It is a small pleasure at first, but one from which greater pleasure can unfurl. This message is amplified if you have also drawn the oracle of every journey starts with a single step, or what do you feel? If this is the case, really pay attention to what is being asked of you for your own benefit. This oracle also comes with special guidance for you. You are more ready than you think you are. You are more prepared than you realize. You don't need an entire army of resources to move ahead. Although you may find that when you do move, many resources suddenly become apparent. All that you need is in this moment is just one sweet act of nourishment. That is enough to take you out of backwards nostalgia or regret and forward into what is waiting for you. Be brave, dig deep within, and enjoy the sweet surrender. That's this. Enjoy the sweet surrender. This is so beautiful. So this is saying for any of you guys, if you guys are a creator, because it says right here, And I've been saying this all along. Make the choice. You, maybe some of you guys need to go into meditation. Come up with the idea of what is going to be your offering. What God is saying right here is that you don't need to go back to school. You don't need any resources. Whatever comes to you after you say, hey God, okay, I just realized we don't really have an agreement on what my offering is. Please help me come up with the offering. Once God give that to you, I want you to just act on it, because what this message is saying right here is that you have everything that you need. You don't need anything else. You're perfectly prepared to go on this next journey. And what it really is saying is that once you make up your mind, the money and the freedom comes. The money and the freedom comes. The next phase will easily flow into it. But you got to get out of this thing of like fighting the chapter. Like, just surrender to it. Trust me, y'all. I'm saying this from experience. It is so hard to surrender. But I am really coming into this thing of, I really always had this fantasy that I'm just going to open my email one day and somebody be like, hey girl, I want to buy your newsletter, or I want to gift you with this money. But I just really like stop doing that and stop looking for that, and really just, try to find the things that I really enjoy. And like, I'm trying to just really enjoy this process. Like, just really trying to take the time to kind of fall back from searching so much, just like this said, and really just being in the moment and enjoying this process of making my book, because it is really fun. Like, it's just, it's been some crazy things that has happened during the process of writing my book. So I'm like, you know what, let me stop looking for some miracle to fall out the sky and really try to enjoy what I have, because it's a blessing. Like, it really is. I'm so blessed to kind of be able to do all of this. Like, even the readings, like, hey, I'm not getting thousands and thousands of people, but so what? Like, it makes me feel good. And I feel like, eventually it's going to be useful for somebody. So, and if that's you, like, if, like maybe you've been putting out stuff and you haven't been getting a big reward or whatever, if that's not the offering that you and God agreed to, like for me, I may be doing this, but I don't expect anything from it, because my offering is my book. So I don't expect I had to tell myself, I don't expect anything from Honestly Sis. Like, that is my offering. That is my love. That is my baby. Like, that's just what I'm doing. Like, that's from my heart. When you do things from your heart, like, yeah, they're going to grow. It's going to do things beyond your expectation, but that don't mean that you turn around and put some type of impossible wish or standard for it. Like, you just got to let your baby grow. And that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm nurturing my babies and I'm trying to birth my book, because I know that that's the ultimate thing that's going to help everything. And all of these other things are just, it's just stuff to make me feel better at the end of the day. It's my offering to the world. It's, a small offering, a give back to all of the, the people that have gave to me here on YouTube. So just, think about things just a little bit differently. And really, like, stop searching. You don't have to search so much. Like, all the answers is inside. And even if you got to the end of this video, you're all the way here and 52 minutes in, you're hanging on my every word because you feel like I'm just speaking to your life. I'm not speaking to your life. I'm just confirming everything that you already know inside of you. So just trust yourself. Like, really trust yourself, and you go into harmony with God. And receiving is what the next thing I had went to. But let me read this and get on out of here for y'all. Dear Sacred Rebel, in this moment, I love this. I had to move over because I got more light on this way. Dear Sacred Rebel, in this moment, your life requires great courage. Fortunately, you possess that in bucket loads. You're being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of non-reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe, so that life can happen to us, through us, with us more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. I was just talking about that. We got to surrender, guys. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. That is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation of great big cosmic yes. Birth was at the bottom of this, y'all. To access this reality, you have to leap from known waters, and others may think you are crazy for doing so. You have to leave behind the dark, weighty grip of hesitation, procrastination, second guessing, and the belief that you have to do everything on your own. You may fear for your life. How will you be safe in the wild electric pulse of so much aliveness? Let me say that one more time. You may fear for your life. How will you be safe in the wild electric pulse of so much aliveness? How will you function without hazy, sleeping-inducing paralysis of playing it safe, taking too long, and placing lesser priorities above your sacred art of life? How would you hold yourself back if you don't hold on to fear? You do not need to worry about such things. Life is wild, but it is also wise. It is a force of startling raw awakening at times, but it is also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to a seasonal nature. But it is also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to a seasonal cycle in right timing. You are a part of the process, not apart from that process. This invitation to switch gears and jump on board to the express train of life will feel exhilarating and perhaps also challenging. When you are in the hold of the darkness, you will feel pushed to turn away and to imagine it is all too much and to create excuses about how your desires aren't grounded enough, that you are being too flighty or flaky, or that you are not living in the real world. That is fear talking, not truth. If the sacred rebel is awakened, you will continue to live in a culture drenched in fear and distrust of nature. Those without awakened hearts don't yet understand what nature knows. She knows timing. She knows life and death. She knows the creative process. She just knows and can be trusted to support us. Her own creations is becoming all that we can become. Does this mean that we become passive and just flow along like a limp leaf detached from the tree and blowing about randomly by the breeze? No. Being free of the dark hold empowers us to take up our cause. This means being free to act and affirm the intuitive feelings we have by following up on them. This is painting like someone has lost their mind, completely free and from the heart. It means writing even if you have no conscious idea of what you are writing. Even as the words are streaming forth upon the page before you're very curious, ooh, y'all, I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow. Ooh, like it's an energy just coming off of this. Okay. Being free of the dark hold empowers us to take up our cause. This means being free to act and affirm the intuitive feelings we have by following up on them. This is painting like someone who has lost their mind, completely free and from the heart. It means writing even though you have no conscious idea of what you are writing, even as the words are streaming forth upon the page before your rather curious eyes. I have experienced that and it's amazing. And it means speaking up about your work, never hiding it away. Allow it to breathe the fresh air and be held in the gaze of another. Detach from the darkness that will say it is not enough or must be the best thing ever, whatever that means, in order to be worthy of a place in the world. Instead, just let it be what it is. It might fly, it might endure, it might not. All of nature, including you and your passions and dreams, will be what is needed when it is needed and how it is needed according to the wisdom. What I just say? Let me say that one more time because that's a bar. All of nature, including you and your passions and dreams, will be what is needed when it is needed and how it is needed according to wisdom. We just have to trust this in life, within ourselves and within nature herself through the flow of life, and participate. You are asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of the known. I'm going to say that one more time. You are asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of what you have known. There is so much more calling to you now. It is your time. Leap. I want you guys to say this, and I'm gonna put this down in our healing in the description box. I accept the offer of life so that I may truly live. Through unconditional love, I now invite and receive all assistance, intervention, protection, and inspiration so that I might leap into my next cycle of life, held in the loving grace of wisdom. So be it. And it say you can jump for joy at the end. Guys, and look, focus on the light. Focus on the light. God just wanted to bring that out before I end this. Focus on the light. Guys, don't get caught up in this. Don't get caught up in this and thinking, oh, I ain't gonna make it. It's the end of the world. Yeah, it's getting scary. But just like this card said, life has cycle. Nature has her cycles. We are not apart from it. We are in it. So if you have something to do on this earth, make that decision and be the sun. And shine, baby, shine. All right, y'all. The light in me truly honors and see the light in each and one of you guys. Namaste. We got this, y'all. Stay fucking strong. You got this. Woo! All right, y'all. See you next time. Oh, and I do want to let y'all know, the element readings, I've been seeing that the fire signs have been kicking ass. So I may have some bonus readings for you fire signs just for showing me so much love. A small offering of appreciation. See y'all next time. Bye.